as we speak. Now you have to go through that process. Now, let's talk about mentorship, you know, and supervision here. Mentorship.
Yeah.
Now you went and hide yourself under an umbrella. Now your calling has to be nurtured.
Mm.
Walk us through the process that you were involved in that process.
Okay. Thank you very much. I was privileged
Mm,
because today there are certain um, pastors
mm.
that they become like Saul when the Davids are rising.
Wow.
Yeah, ministry entails a lot.
Mm,
Now, your devastating moments cannot might not even be from parents or outside, can be right from the ministry.
wow. In the
You
church.
will, yeah, from the church. You'll see a lot. You'll be surprised what
Goodness.
certain young ministers are going through. The
Mm,
spirit of Saul sometimes comes on people you are looking up to that
mm,
you expect them to help you and groom you up. But I
mm,
was so privileged. I was
mm,
so privileged because as I was narrating right from the age of 13,
mm.
well, my spiritual father was an associate. Now, going back a little bit from your question, the context of your question, I'm placing him at the place now when he has taken over
Okay.
a new church at Matichu. That's how they used to call it. Now they call it, I think, East Airport. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The church is now very close to Palace Mall. In Palace
Okay.
Mall. Yeah, that's where we started from. It was a very tiny church. They were rearing some cows all around the place.
Mm,
And from tech, when I saw the humility of this man
mm,
from a big church and where he has been placed, my
mm.
heart was moved. I didn't go to help him to become a pastor. No, I guess my heart was moved to come all the way from North Carolina, whether we have car or not, we got to find a way. And I've told you, I've walked several from North Carolina to that location, and I come in to help.
Mm.
All his heart, he sold his car to put into ministry. He was a real mentor. The
Wow.
selflessness, you know.
Mm.
And I want to pause to say that a lot of people today are
Jesus.
equating spiritual fathership, okay, to what they will receive from spiritual sons. To the,
Mm.
to the intent that today in ministry, if you're a young pastor coming up and you don't have money, you won't get anybody to father you. It is
My
wrong.
goodness.
Yeah,
My
it is wrong.
goodness.
It is
Mm.
today is how much you can give to somebody that he can
Mm.
put you either on a platform, on a pedestal to become a
Mm.
spiritual son. Spiritual
Mm.
fatherhood is not so. Spiritual fatherhood is not so. So this
Mm.
is a man of a good example, and that is how the training began.
Wow.
He allowed me to speak in youth conferences. Assemblies of God, we had um, some youth conferences.
Mm.
Regional, we call it the regional youth conference, and I'll be speaking. There'll be pastors there, but he would, because of what he saw in me, he really pushed. I wasn't like the David that was encountering a Saul in my life. No, at all.
Mm.
Any
Mm.
opportunities, he would train you by observation. If you have,
Mm.
just have to look at the man, look at his heart, because spiritual things are not taught.
That's right.
Spiritual things are caught. You can't
Mm.
just have to observe it. You have observe, and then he will give me challenges, sometimes challenging, challenging works, challenging jobs to do. He put me on a 40-day prayer fast, lead the church in a 40 days prayer fasting. Myself and another pastor will be leading the church. There
Mm.
was a funeral, a very big funeral. He traveled. He said, "You can do it. Take care of the
Wow.
funeral." Yes.
Wow.
And I was very inexperienced from Bible school, very inexperienced.
Mm.
I would do it. I will learn my lessons where I didn't do well. I'll
Okay.
handle weddings. At the age of 16, 17, when he's having deliverances, he will call me and say, "Hey, come and cast the demons out." At the age of 16, 17. So he
Wow.
really groomed me and exposed. And I'm saying all this because of some of the frustration that some young ministers go through when
Mm.
grace and the anointing and calling is being
Mm.
kind of, monopolized, and is being used.
Mm.
You are being suppressed. You are being
Mm.
detained, persecuted for
Mm.
reasons that you can't even understand. And I
Mm.
want to use this medium to really encourage the young ministers God is calling them. And we need to know that no matter how far you have gone, God is God who calls. You can't play God in anybody's life. It's God
Mm.
who calls people. And just as you were born, God also, give privileges to people. The same things you went through and you have privilege today, allow other people to come up, because
Jesus.
God will keep calling and keep calling till Jesus comes. Maybe our generation may pass, there'll be another generation, God will call. So we need to groom them, and we don't need to play God in their lives.
Mm.
The gift, you don't need to undermine the gift. You don't need to
Mm.
make the person suffer, unnecessarily suffer.
Wow.
Because this man was good, very good to me. He paid my school fees in the Bible school. He took care of me. I was a time I wanted to buy a car, had some money. He gave me half of the money to buy the car. I mean, he, wherever he is, and let me mention his name. His name is Dr. Joseph Basie. He's currently the regional superintendent of Assemblies of
Doctor,
God. Joseph Basie. Yeah, yeah,
we will use this means
yeah.
to
I really
tap
want to salute
and
him.
yes, and use you if possible
Yeah.
as a means to get him.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
something we can learn from
I'll do
him.
that.
Yeah, please. And
I'll do that.
I believe all those watching us,
Yeah,
we are live on the radio, it's everywhere. Yeah,
yeah,
can really understand what I'm trying to say, because there's something we can learn from him,
yeah.
because it's very difficult,
Very.
I mean, such people, you see them, I mean, one in thousands, who will lay down their lives to
Yes.
mentor. It is more of a different reason than what you are telling us, you
Yes.
know. And we would need him. We would
Yeah.
need him. We need him right on board. Yeah, because
I'll
we,
I'll connect you.
please do, because we're trying to get all the sharks, all the big fish, for them to speak to us, and I believe we will do that. Now, with that being said,
Mm,
we've known all that he did for you.
yeah,
Now, the question for the sake of this platform and those listening to us:
yeah.
why is that the opposite? Why don't we have people helping out? Why is people suppressing the gift and the talent that is in the believer? Why those souls in the church? Why?
I think that today the dynamics of church is changing. The
Mm,
quality of Christianity and the dynamics is changing a little bit. There
mm,
were people who we came to meet as fathers that were very selfless.